Robinson Park here at, this is Jackie Robinson Memorial Field here at next to the Rose Bowl, just walking distance as we bring you the live telecast of the Lancers of Pasadena City College as they take on Rio Hondo College, the Roadrunners. Rio Hondo located in Whittier. This is game 2 of the series. Austin Ruiz on the mound for the Lancers in his first start of the season. Ruiz has been a designated hitter this year, and leading off for Rio Hondo is Ricky Ackles. Ackles, Rio Hondo's top hitter this season, hitting .358. He's the right fielder for the Roadrunners, leadoff hitter. He leads the team with 2 home runs, 16 RBIs, is a .474 slugging percentage. And a fastball by Ruiz, good for a strike. So 1-1 count on Ackles. Ruiz has only thrown 3 innings this year. The Lancers, a strong pitching staff. This is a chance for Coach Pat McGee to give Ruiz some work. And a foul off there by Ackles. Pasadena City College having a terrific season thus far, 16-7 overall record. They're in conference play, South Coast Conference play. They're 8-4. They're ranked number 16 in the state. Curveball by Ruiz, fouled off. So 1-2 count on Ackles. Tough year for Rio Hondo, 8-15 overall, 4-8 in the South Coast Conference. In the opener of the series, the Lancers at Rio Hondo defeated the Roadrunners 16-2. Home runs by Jake Sanchez and Marco Martinez. A high pitch there inside by Ruiz. 2-2 count now on Ackles. The Lancers in the state this year, number 2 in batting, number 2 in on-base percentage. And a strike 3 called on a slurve pitch by Ruiz. So 1 out here in the top of the first inning. That brings up Jesus Maldonado, the Rio Hondo catcher. And Maldonado, a 6'2", 200-pounder. He's from Bishop and Mott High School in La Puente. Right-handed hitter. Fastball by Ruiz, swung and missed. This has been the best year hitting-wise for the Lancers in a long time. They have a .323 overall batting average, but their pitching staff has been very strong. And a ground ball to third, picked up by Marco Martinez, the third baseman, and throws him out. 5-3 on the putout as recorded by first baseman Vic Zapata. 2 outs now, top of the first inning, and that brings up for Rio Hondo their number 3 hitter, Jordan Salgado. And Jordan, the left fielder, a 6', 180-pounder out of Glendora. As you can see, it's Salgado followed by Portillo, Rivera the DH. And interesting, the 9th hitter for Rio Hondo has only had 14 at-bats this year. That's Banda. And he's looking for his first hit of the year, Alex Banda, starting at third base for Rio Hondo in the 9th slot. 1-0 count on the lefty. Swung and missed. So Ruiz showing strong poise here in the top of the first. So we recorded 2 outs on the strikeout to Ackles and the ground out by Maldonado. And a foul ball down the left field line. So Ruiz looks for his signs to catcher Cole Pilar. Pilar having an incredible season for the Lancers. The starting catcher, a transfer from Trinity College, sophomore transfer. Pilar, behind the plate for the Lancers, is the leader in the state in on-base percentage this year. A ridiculous .556 on-base percentage. Pitch by Ruiz is in the dirt. So we have a full count now on Salgado. the lefty Salgado. This season hitting just 157. Been a tough year again, as I said earlier, for the Roadrunners. Next pitch high and away, so Ruiz loses him for the walk. So Salgado takes his trot to first, and that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter for Rio Hondo, and that's Jimmy Portillo. High pitch by Ruiz, 1-0 count. Portillo, the Rio Hondo first baseman, he's from Northview High School in Covina, 5'10", 190-pounder. Next pitch, in there for a strike. So 1-1. Portillo hitting 275. He has 1 home run and 15 RBI. He also leads the Roadrunners in doubles with 6. Fouled off to the right side. It's actually going to roll fair. So fortuitous bounce by the Lancers, and Cepeda tags out for a 3 unassisted, and that's going to end the inning as the Roadrunners leave 1 on in the top of the first right here at Brookside Park's Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. And the starting pitcher for Rio Hondo today is the right-hander, 6'2", 190-pounder out of Lucerna High School. It's Abraham Carrillo. Carrillo this year, 2-2 record in 7 appearances, 23 innings pitched. And now the vaunted Lancers come to the plate. PCC again, state number 2 in the state in hitting with a 323 overall average. The leadoff hitter is Gabriel Ariano, the center fielder, 6'1", 170-pounder out of Monrovia High School. Started the season on a 19-game hitting streak. First pitch, and it's a line drive right at the second baseman and stabbed there by Lopez. So 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Rio Hondo went down. They only had 1 walk in the first inning against Austin Ruiz. So that's going to bring up Cole Pilar, and we talked a little bit about him earlier. Pilar, he's on a tear. He's hit 20 of his last 38, 13 RBI, 14 runs scored, and that's just in the last 10 games. His average is .427. It leads the team. He's number 7 in the entire state, the switch hitting catcher for the Lancers. First pitch is just outside on Pilar. From Flint Ridge Prep High School. Next pitch is in there for a strike. curveball is just outside. 2-1 now on Pilar. Pilar had 4 hits in the series opener against Rio Hondo, that 16-2 rout by PCC. High fastball, that's in for a ball. So 3-1 now in Pilar. Again, the state leader in on-base percentage. He's tied for the team lead in walks with 19 with the on-deck hitter, which is Marco Martinez, the Lancers' third baseman. And a drive by Pilar to left center, and that's in there, in the gap. That's going to be at least 2 bases for Pilar, and he's going to hold up there. So a double for Cole Pilar, the hot-hitting catcher for the Lancers. And that's going to bring up Marco Martinez, and Marco, he was a Pasadena Star News Player of the Year in high school at Maranatha. Maranatha plays their home games here at Brookside Park's Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. And Marco, a 6'1", 200-pounder. Again, the third baseman, having a terrific season for himself. .393 batting average, a team-leading 5 home runs, including a 3-run bomb at Rio Hondo, 24 RBI. Leads the team in slugging percentage with a .655 percentage. High fastball by Carrillo. It's 1-0 now on Martinez, with a runner in scoring position in Pilar. Pilar with his 6th double of the season, now at second. Another high fastball by Carrillo. So a little bit of wildness here by the right-hander. He has 17 walks in 23 innings this year. Fouled off by Martinez. 2-1 count. Beautiful day for baseball. It's also opening day in Major League Baseball. Another high fastball by Carrillo. 3-1 now on Martinez. Edward Manzo's on deck. He's an all-South Coast Conference. First team selection last year. Led the team in hitting with a .350 batting average. And a swing on and a miss there by Martinez, and he was trying to unload there. Now it's a full count on Marco Martinez. His 5 home runs. It's the first time any Lancers hit more than 4, going back to 2008 when Adrian Martinez, no relation, hit 8 home runs to lead PCC 11 years ago. Fouled off again by Martinez. When you talk to Coach Pat McGee, he talks about his batters going deeper into accounts, and they've drawn a lot of walks this year. And again, as I said, second in the state, tops in the region in team on-base percentage at .427. Carrillo in the stretch. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off again. Fouls it off to the right side there by Martinez. McGee in previous seasons has liked to use small ball, but this year, a slew of good hitters. 7 hitters in the starting 9 are hitting above 300. And a pop up another foul ball. It's going to go foul down that right field line. So a long at bat here for Martinez. It's up to 9 pitches by Carrillo, stretching him out. It's a 0-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. I'm Robert Lewis calling the play-by-play today. And the 3-2 pitch. And a drive to deep right. That's going to send the right fielder back. It's off the wall, and that's going to bring in a run, at least extra bases, and it's going to be a double for Marco Martinez as he drives in the Lancers' first run, a double. So back-to-back doubles by Pilar, and Marco Martinez, a terrific at-bat for Martinez. He stretched him out, fouled off 4 pitches, and then driving the double to deep right. So 1-0 Lancers lead here in the bottom of the first inning. That's going to bring up Edward Manzo. And Manzo, the left fielder, 5'9", 170-pounder at a Pete Knight High in Palmdale. Manzo, again, a terrific freshman season when he hit .350 this year. Manzo hitting .333. He has 10 RBI, a .463 slugging percentage, .464 on base percentage. Just one of many hitters on this team having a strong season. Cleanup hitter for the Lancers. Not your prototypical cleanup hitter. Curveball outside by Carrillo. One count on Manzo. The Lancers on a 4-game winning streak. Martinez takes his lead off a second. Curveball again, this time in there for a strike. So 1-2 count on Manzo. Curveball hit to the shortstop, and the throw in the dirt, but pulled out. So it's an out. 6-3 on the put out there. So a nice play by the Rio Hondo first baseman Jimmy Portillo on the throw by shortstop Diego Perez. So he retires Manzo on the ground out. Martinez does not advance. So 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Johnny Cedeno. Cedeno will be pinch hitting in the designated hitter spot for Garrett Vlasic. Left-handed hitter. So Johnny Cedeno. And Cedeno hasn't had many at-bats, but he's done a great job with that. Cedeno hitting .429. He's 12 for 28 this season. He has a .556 on base percentage and 7 RBI. So the lefty Cedeno takes the first pitch for a ball. And Johnny is out of nearby Temple City High School, listed at 5'6" and just 130 pounds. Pitch low again, so 2-0 count on Cedeno. Again, the Lancers liking to draw out the counts. Very patient hitting team. A lot of teams Okay, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, and what you missed was the first hit of the year by Alex Banda for Rio Hondo. He rips a single up the middle off the glove of Scannell. So we had a runner on, and the next hitter was Ricky Ackles, the leadoff hitter, and he flew out the right center, caught by Lancer center fielder Gabriel Ariano. So 2 outs here in the third, and Jesus Maldonado, the Roadrunners catcher, now at the plate. Fastball driven to deep left field, and that's going to be Edward Manzo under it. Makes the catch, and that ends the top of the third inning. Rio Hondo, 3 scoreless frames now for Lancer's starting pitcher in his first start of the season, Austin Ruiz. So we're back here at Brookside Park's Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. The Lancers leading Rio Hondo 5-0. Bottom of the third inning. PCC's offense this year, it's been putting on a show. 9 times this year, the Lancers have scored 10 or more runs or won a game by 10 or more runs. This year, they've put up 21 runs against West Los Angeles, 20 runs against LA Harbor, 19 in a win over Compton, and then on Tuesday they scored 16 against Rio Hondo. So quite an offense for the Lancers. And they already have 5 runs in the first 2 innings of this game, so 21 runs already in just 11 innings in this series. So Shane Ogata, PCC's right fielder, leads off the bottom of the third against Abraham Carrillo. Fastball taken for a strike. Ogata walked in the first inning. That was a string of 3 walks given up by Carrillo. Right-handed batter. He's from Hawaii, Shane Ogata. And Shane's identical twin is sister Shauna Ogata, who played volleyball at PCC. So we have twins who played different sports. Of course, Shauna Ogata in women's volleyball, and her brother Shane Ogata, the Lancers right fielder. Taken for a ball in the dirt, and they looked for a call by the first base umpire, Alejandro Martinez, and he says that Ogata did not check swing. So it's now 2-2 on PCC's number 2. Fastball fouled off to the right side. 2 years ago, when Ogata was the All-Southern California Regional selection, hit a lot of line drive balls to right field, was a gap hitter, and this year struggling to get his bat back into form. But this time, he hits it perfectly to right field, a line drive single. That's exactly the type of hit I was describing. That's Shane Ogata for you, and that might get him out of his slump. He's 1 for 1 today with a walk. And that brings up Jake Sanchez, the Lancers shortstop. Sanchez flew out to left field to end the first inning. It's Carrillo with the pickoff throw. Carrillo has already thrown a lot of pitches now for Rio Hondo. And pitch is high there. Taken for a ball. Sanchez, a 5'6", 175-pounder out of Alhambra High School. And the shortstop takes the curveball for a ball. Paul Rice, the home umpire for today's game. Ogata with the leadoff. The Lancers not really a stealing type team. They only have 11 stolen bases all season long. Coach McGee sacrifices that ability to steal because he wants to move his runners over with the bats and not give outs on caught stealings. So a bunt there by Sanchez, and he fouls it off. So 2-2 count now on Sanchez. McGee asked him to sacrifice there, and this time Sanchez fouls it off. The wind blowing everything here at Brookside. So no sooner do we say that no one takes a steal than Agata takes off for second. So Agata steals second, and now Sanchez up there with the chance to drive him in. Takes strike 3 called on a fastball. First out here in the third. First strikeout of the game for Abraham Carrillo. Carrillo with 21 Ks in 23 innings entering the game. Brings up the Lancers' second baseman, Andrew Scannell. Scannell, a 6'1", 155-pounder from Arcadia High School. Swung on and missed. Scannell batting .303 this season with 13 RBI. Carrillo delivers, curveball in the dirt. Jesus Maldonado, Rio Hondo catcher, doing a nice job behind the dish. It's not been a great defensive year either for Rio Hondo. 83rd in the state in fielding with a .935 overall fielding percentage. Maldonado, though, leads the team with a .993. He's only had one error this season. And the catcher takes that one. The count now 1-2 on Scannell. Runner on second, 1 out. Ogana takes his lead off a second. Another ball in the dirt. Maldonado makes a pickoff throw back to second, and Agata gets back in there safely. Really nice play by Maldonado. Ball was in the dirt, fielded it, makes a hard throw to second. 2-2 count now on Scannell. Curveball is high. So again, the Lancers drawing out the counts on the righty, Carrillo. He's already walked 4 batters in this game, and it's only the 3rd inning. Comes the pitch outside, and another walk. And Carrillo shakes his head as Scannell takes his trot to first base. So first and second now for the Lancers. Again, a lot of base runners already for PCC in this game. They have 6 hits. They've drawn 5 walks. And a big error by the Rio Hondo shortstop, which scored 2 runs on a play in the 2nd inning. The Lancers scored 2 in the first, 3 in the second. Now that brings up the leadoff hitter, Gabriel Arellano. He takes a curveball outside. Again, Carrillo laboring on the mound for Rio Hondo. Tough year for the Roadrunners. Are 8-15 this year. A couple of years ago, they were one of the better teams in the Southern California region. In fact, they were a perennial playoff performer under Coach Mike Salazar. The last 2 years, Rio Hondo struggled. 13-25 record last year, 8-15 mark this season. Next pitch to Arellano, driven to right field, a line drive, falls in for a hit, That's going to bring in Shane Ogana as he slides in, and he is out. So Paul Rice makes the call. Ogana out at the plate on a nice relay from right field, and the right fielder Ricky Akels makes a nice play, getting it in quickly. So the base hit for Ariano. Scannell will stay at second, and Ogana out at home. So a 9-4-2 on that put out. And that brings up the hot-hitting Cole Pilar. Cole Pilar with a double, and he's reached on an error. That error by the shortstop scored 2 runs, and it was an RBI on the play for Pilar. As we said earlier, as we take a replay here of the Ogana play, and it was a pretty good throw, pretty good relay. And they said that Ogana just got tagged just on the slide right there. So ground ball by Pilar to the first baseman. And he tags the bag, and that ends the 3rd inning of play. So no damage for Rio Hondo Carrillo with a scoreless inning. And after 3 full innings here at Brookside Park, it is PCC 5, Rio Hondo nothing. So after 3 strong innings by Austin Ruiz, the spot starter for the Lancers after his first start of the year, that is all for Ruiz this game, as the Lancers have brought in a reliever, and that is number 36 for PCC, the big right-hander, Benny Torres. He's a 6'1", 250-pounder out of San Dimas High School. The line on Ruiz, pretty strong. 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. An excellent performance for Austin Ruiz, the Lancers starter. Now it's Benny Torres' game, with PCC leading 5-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. Brookside Park with a little bit of history here at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. Of course, the great Jackie Robinson playing for Pasadena Junior College back in 1938. And he went on to UCLA, and of course, first African-American to break the color barrier in modern-day baseball back in 1947 for the Brooklyn Dodgers. And Jackie Robinson is a member of the Pasadena City College Sports Hall of Fame and Court of Champions, along with his brother, Mac Robinson, who is an Olympic sprinter. So Jordan Salgado tries to bunt on the first pitch delivered by Torres, and he fouls it off. Salgado, the 3rd hitter in the Rio Hondo lineup, and Jordan drew a walk to Ruiz in the 1st inning. High with the fastball there by Torres. And Benny this season, strong 9 appearances, 1-1 record, a nice 3.00 ERA. He's thrown 15 innings. He's only allowed 10 hits, walked 8, and struck out 12. Fastball again by Torres, but Rice, the home plate umpire, calls it a ball. 2-1 count on Salgado. Hitting just 157 coming into the game. Swung on and missed. 2-2 count. Lefty hitter. Just to show you the difference between the Lancers and Rio Hondo offensively this season, PCC had 215 runs scored. Rio Hondo only has 106 runs this season in 23 games. Hard hit ground ball to the second baseman, and Scadell makes the throw to Cepeda to record the first out. So Torres retires the first hitter here in the 4th inning. It's going to bring up Jimmy Portillo. Portillo, Rio Hondo's left fielder from Glendora High School, a 6 foot, 180 pounder.
Andrew. Vic, with us, huh? Small talk over there.
Torres pitch in the dirt.
No, regroup, Benny needs you.
Fastball across the letters, strike. Torres, one of 2 Bennies on the Lancer pitching staff this season. The other is Benny Elgin, who's a 6'1", 165 pounder at Alhambra High. Next pitch is low for a ball. 2-1 count. Pitch again low by Torres. So threatening to walk. It's got a 3-1 count now on the Rio Hondo hitter. Fastball, and that's driven to deep center field, and Ariano with a nice running catch at the wall. Gabriel Ariano, the Lancers center fielder. Portillo gives it a drive, but nice defensive play by Ariano. So 2 outs here in the 4th. Brings up Rio Hondo's designated hitter, Chris Rivera. It's 364 feet to dead center field here at PCC. Kind of a interesting dimensions, large dimensions here. It's really hard to hit a home run here at PCC. There's only been a couple hit all year by either PCC or opponents. 345 down the right field line here at Brookside. And a high pop-up. It's going to be fielded by Scannell, and he catches it for the out, and a 1-2-3 inning for Benny Torres here in the 4th. So the score again after 4 full innings here at Brookside Park's Jackie Robinson Memorial Field, it is the Lancers 5, Rio Hondo 0. So we have a pitching change for Rio Hondo here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Just like the Lancers replaced their starter after 3, so do the Roadrunners as Abraham Carrillo ends his afternoon. The new pitcher is Isaiah Vasquez. He's a 5'10", 150-pounder from St. John Bosco High. Some numbers on Vasquez. He's a 1-1 record, 4.09 ERA. He's thrown 22 innings this year. He leads Rio Hondo in appearances with 14, and he struck out 12 and walked 12 in those 22 innings. So the righty comes in, and he's going to be facing a vaunted PCC hitting lineup, as Marco Martinez will lead off here in the 4th. Martinez with a bomb double in the first inning, a walk in the second. And here he is with his third at bat in the afternoon here now in the fourth inning. Lancers comfortably ahead 5-0 over Rio Hondo. Second game of their series. PCC looking for their 5th consecutive victory. So Vasquez, first pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Pitch low. Can't say enough about the nice job defensively here by Rio Hondo catcher Jesus Maldonado. He's fielding everything. A lot of pitches that have been in the dirt. He's blocked. He's made plays on. 6'2", 200-pounder behind the dish for the Roadrunners. So Martinez takes the next pitch, and it's now 1-2 on the Lancers' third baseman. And again, he leads the team in home runs with 5 and RBIs with 25. Approaching the 400 mark this season as a hitter. The freshman drives it to right field again, but this time it's going to stay up. And it is caught by Roadrunners right fielder Ricky Akels for out number 1. It's going to bring up Edward Monzo. Monzo, the Lancers left fielder, 1 for 2 today. Hard hit ground ball past the third baseman for a base hit by Manzo into left field. It is the hot corner here at Brookside, and balls take off once they hit that dirt here at for every third baseman who plays the position, home or visitor. So hard hit single there by Manzo. That's going to bring up for the Lancers, it's going to be a pinch hitter for the DH spot, and it's going to be Ryan Lewis, the Lancers' starting shortstop this season. And the right-handed hitter, Ryan Lewis, pinch hitting for Johnny Cedeno, the Lancers' DH. Lewis, a 5'7", 150-pounder. He's out of Temple City High School. Ryan this year hitting .344 with 17 RBI. He's been injured the last 5 games for PCC and now getting back into action. Rolled his ankle, and Jake Sanchez did a great job playing shortstop in his absence, and Sanchez is the starting shortstop today. So Lewis up there. 1-2 count on the Lancer sophomore. He was a all South Coast Conference selection last year. Second teamer, grounder to second, and the fielder's choice at the second base bag, 4-6, recorded by Rio Hondo. That erases Monzo, and Lewis will be aboard at first base. So 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That brings up Vic Zapata, the PCC first baseman. Steady first baseman this year. The Lancer hitting .289. He has 20 RBI, 5 doubles. And he actually is in the top 5 in the state in hit by pitches drawn. He has been hit like a magnet 13 times this year. Lewis with the lead off here at first. Gets the sign as Zapata up there, the right-handed hitter. San Dimas High School for Vic, and he drives it to center field and underneath it. And Rio Hondo's center fielder, Christian Tinnen, records the catch, and that's going to end the 4th inning. The Lancers go down. They only get 1 hit, and they score nothing here. So 2 straight scoreless innings for Rio Hondo. The reliever Vasquez with the scoreless frame, and after 4 innings, it's PCC 5, Rio Hondo nothing.
to get humans to Mars?
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Hey, Bubba.
Okay, so Benny Torres was his last couple of warm-ups here as we go on to the 5th inning here at Brookside Park's Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. And a couple little notes about this old stadium. And at one time back in the 1930s and 1940s, it was a spring training facility for the Chicago White Sox and Chicago Cubs. And that was right when Jackie Robinson was had moved on from Pasadena Junior College, and Robinson also played his home games for PJC here at Brookside. And out of the stretch even with no runners on, and that's what a lot of relievers do in today's game. High fly ball to center field. And that's caught by Ariano, and that ends the top of the 5th inning, a 1-2-3 inning for the Lancers. For Rio Hondo, and that brings us to the midway point of the game with the score: Pasadena 5, Rio Hondo 0. Look at the South Coast Conference North Division standings. As you can see, Mount San Antonio leading with a 9-3 record, 15-12 overall mark, but Pasadena, state number 16 ranked team, is in second place with a 8-4 mark, 16-7 overall record. Then Chaffee, the Lancers swept Chaffee, really put them out of the race with a 3-game sweep by the Lancers. And they're 6-6 in third place, followed by East Los Angeles at 4-6-1 in conference. And then Rio Hondo trails in the standings in the 5-team division. The top 2 teams make it into the Southern California Regional Playoffs as automatic qualifiers. The Lancers were the 2017 South Coast Conference champions of the North Division. Shane Ogata leads off the bottom of the 5th for the Lancers against Isaiah Vasquez, and he fouls it off. 0-2 count on Ogata. I want to apologize for some of the technical difficulties today. Pitch taken high by Ogata. Right fielder is 1 for 1 today with a walk. He lined a single in the 3rd. Opposite field type hitter. This time he pulls it to the 3rd baseman and he throws him out. That was Alex Banda throwing out Ogata. So 1 out here in the 5th. Jake Sanchez now up, the Lancers shortstop. He's 0 for 2 today with a fly out the left, and he took a called strike 3 in the 3rd inning. Sanchez had a monster day on Tuesday. 4 for 5, his first collegiate home run, a double, 5 runs driven in, and that was in a 16-2 win over Rio Hondo on Tuesday at Alhambra High School. Swung on and missed. So 0-2 count as Vasquez trying to shut down the Lancers' bats. He's did a nice job in the 4th inning in relief of Abraham Carrillo, the Rio Hondo starter. Next pitch is fouled off. It's actually going to stay fair, and it does roll foul. So looked like the ball wasn't sure what it's going to do. It's going to take a roll just foul. So Sanchez still alive. Doing an admirable job, Sanchez. In for Ryan Lewis, who did get to hit in the last inning. Lewis coming back from an ankle injury. Next pitch is high from Vasquez. The line on Abraham Carrillo, Rio Hondo starter, was a tough one. 3 innings, 7 hits. He gave up 5 runs, 4 earned, 5 walks, and he struck out 1. So Sanchez fouls it off. Vasquez doing a better job already than Carrillo. Line drive to center field. It's going to drop in for a hit. So Jake Sanchez keeps on hitting. He was 4 for 5, and he rolls in for a double for PCC. So Sanchez see if we can look at that replay on the hit. As Andrew Scannell comes up. Sanchez on second base. Fastball high. So Sanchez lined that single to center, and there was the boot by the Rio Hondo center fielder. Second error of the game for Rio Hondo, and that was by Christian Tinning. He kind of let the ball play him, and that allowed Sanchez to reach second base. Rio Hondo credited with 6 errors in the series opener on Tuesday. 2 today. Scannell takes the next pitch high. 2-1 count. Scannell has a single and a walk today. Vasquez looks it, and the pitch fouls it off. Pasadena comfortably out in front 5-0 here in the second game of this 3-game series. The third game of the series will be on Saturday back at Rio Hondo College, a 12 o'clock start at the Whittier College location. Ground ball by Scannell to the shortstop, and Perez throws him out as Sanchez holds at first base. So 2 outs now here for the Lancers in the 5th inning. That brings up the top of the order for the 4th time today, Gabriel Arellano. So 3 times around the PCC lineup, and it's only the 5th inning. Arellano 2 for 3 this afternoon, and that's going to lift his average over 400. And a 19-game hitting streak to begin his collegiate career. Freshman hits a ground ball up the middle to the shortstop again, and this time thrown out. So consecutive groundouts to Perez ends the 5th inning. 5 full innings done here at Brookside Park's Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. With the score, the Lancers 5, Rio Hondo 0.
Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Benny Torres, the Lancers reliever, has already thrown 2 scoreless innings. He's retired all 6 hitters that he's faced, and he comes aboard here in the 6th inning. And this is the type of year it's been for Rio Hondo. They have 1 hit today, the only hit in the game, and it's by this hitter, their number 9 hitter, Alex Banda. Well, Alex Banda was only 0 for 14 on the season coming into today's game, so he gets his first hit of the season, and yet nobody else in the Rio Hondo lineup with a hit. Banda fouls it off, fouls it straight back. 0-1 now. Torres, if you go back to Austin Ruiz in the 3rd inning, when he finished his inning, 8 batters recorded in a row by the Lancers pitchers. Changeup, and did not fool Banda. Line drive down the left field line, foul. So Banda taking some really nice swings and definitely impressing the head coach, Mike Salazar. We might be seeing more of Alex Banda, more playing time for the freshman. So 5'7", 140-pounder out of Whittier. Fastball, and this time on the outside part of the plate, strike 3 called by Torres. So he retires Banda on the K. All 3 strikeouts by the Lancers pitchers have been looking. That brings to the top of the order Ricky Akels. And he is the leading hitter for Rio Hondo this year. Akels coming into the game with a .358 batting average, 2 home runs, 16 RBI. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Torres working quick, being efficient, in a 5-0 lead. Can't ask for anything more than that from the freshman righty. Changeup, line drive, foul down the left field line. So again, Torres goes to the change and not fooled. Big foul line here at Brookside Park's Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. 0-2 count for Torres. Next pitch, taken just low. He looks in for the sign from Cole Pilar, the catcher. High fastball off the glove, and Pilar not sure what happened there. I think there was a cross there on the sign by Pilar. He was not ready for that pitch at all, and flew off for a ball. So it's 2-2 count now on Ricky Akels. Fastball popped up. It's got to be Skanal, and he catches the pop-up for out number 2. So 8 in a row retired by Benny Torres. The Lancers relievers have done the job this season for PCC. Not just Benny Torres, but also Frank Gonzalez. 0.84 ERA out of 21 innings and 10 appearances. And then Lorenzo Lawrence has thrown well this year in 10 appearances. He's got a 3.91 ERA, a 1-0 record. And then Torres is lowering his ERA from 3 this afternoon. He's thrown 15 innings now, 18 innings. Line drive to center field. It's going to be caught by Gabriel Ariano. That ends another 1-2-3 inning for Benny Torres as he jogs off the mound. And that's the end of the top of the 6th with the score. Pasadena leading Rio Hondo 5-0. We have a new pitcher for Rio Hondo. And that new Rio Hondo pitcher is number 18. And that's James Wright. He's a 5'10", 180-pounder sophomore out of Monrovia. Looking at Wright's numbers, not very good, but 6.28 ERA, but he's pitched in 11 games as a reliever. 14 in the third innings thrown. He's allowed 14 hits. He's walked 11 and struck out 10. What is interesting is he's allowed a low batting average against. A lot of the Rio Hondo pitchers have allowed higher batting averages, but Wright has only surrendered the 14 hits in 14 and a third innings, a 237 average against. He's the third pitcher for Rio Hondo today. The starter, Abraham Carrillo, touched for all 5 runs in the first 3 innings, but Isaiah Vasquez came in and did a nice job with 2 scoreless frames in the 4th and 5th. PCC with a 6-game overall winning streak against Rio Hondo teams. They swept them last year and looking for their 2nd straight win this year against them. And they won the last 2 games of the 2017 season in their series against Rio Hondo. Rio Hondo joined the South Coast Conference from the Foothill Conference 3 years ago. Leading off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Lancers is the hot-hitting Cole Pilar. Pilar 1 for 3 today. Ripped a double in the 1st inning, and Pilar, as we've said earlier, leads the state in on-base percentage and was 7th in the state in hitting coming into this game. Switch hitter as the sidewinder James Wright comes in. PCC with 5 runs on 9 hits. Pitch taken for a ball. Rio Hondo with just 1 hit off the 2 Lancer pitchers. Austin Ruiz, the starter, with 3 scoreless innings, followed by Benny Torres with 3 perfect frames. Ground ball by Pilar to the 3rd baseman. Fielded cleanly, makes a throw, and guns out Pilar. Play made by Alex Banda. Banda, of course, the only Roadrunner with a hit today. That's going to bring up Marco Martinez, the Lancers' 3rd baseman. He's 1 for 2 today with a double and a walk. Martinez hit his 5th home run of the season on Tuesday in the 16-2 win over the Roadrunners. Sidewinder comes in with the strike, so James Wright starts off with a strike to Martinez. Next pitch is low. Lancer scored 2 runs in the 1st, 3 runs in the 2nd. 2 on a ground ball error to the shortstop as Martinez swings out of his shoes on that pitch. 1-2 now on the 6'1", 200-pounder out of Maranatha High School. Next pitch, hard hit ground ball is foul. Goes down that left field line, foul. Martinez has powered all fields. Again, he ripped a long double to right, opposite field double in that first at bat. He had a game this year with 2 home runs against Compton. Both home runs cleared the center field fence, and by far, according to head coach Pat McGee, both balls exceeded 420 feet. Hard hit ground ball to the shortstop. Fielded cleanly, and the throw is there to retire Martinez. 6-3 on the putout. Diego Perez with the throw by Rio Hondo for the out. And that's going to bring up Edward Monzo, and Monzo 2 for 3 today for the Lancers. Lancers left fielder, he's pretty much hitting the same average as he did as a freshman when he was an All-South Coast Conference first teamer. He led the team in hitting last year, and he's going to knock in his 3rd hit of the day, and it's in the gap, and Monzo taking off for second, and he's going to be in there with a stand-up double. So Edward Monzo with his 3rd straight hit. He's 3 for 4 today. Monzo was the surprising leading hitter of last year's team as a freshman. You'll take a look here on the replay. Nice opposite field hitting. So you put it in the gap and strolls into second base easily. That's going to bring up Ryan Lewis, and Lewis is subbing as the backup DH today. And he hits a hard ground ball to the second baseman. And Lopez throws him out, and that's going to end the 6th inning. The Lancers strand a runner on second base. And the score after 6 full innings here at Brookside Park's Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. It's the Lancers 5, Rio Hondo 0.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Field here. It's just walking distance from the Rose Bowl here in the city of Pasadena. Pasadena City College Lancers leading Rio Hondo 5-0 as we move on to the 7th inning. And let's look a little bit of look at some of the Pasadena City College transfers. Coach Pat McGee doing a great job of moving players to the 4-year level, and this past year 6 players have moved on, and that includes John Bicos at Hawaii Hilo along with pitcher Race Gardner, and then Nathan Garco, who went to Point Loma Nazarene. Jose Jimenez is now a starter at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and then Nico Martinez moved on to New Mexico Highlands. Each of the last 3 seasons, McGee has moved 6 players to the next level. So leading off the top of the 7th is Rio Hondo left fielder Jordan Salgado. And Torres still in there for the Lancers. He's retired the first 9 he has faced, in relief of Austin Ruiz. Left-handed hitter. Salgado today, 0 for 1 with a walk. Takes an inside fastball for a strike. Grounded out the second in the 4th inning. Next pitch, line drive. That's going to drop in for a hit. That's just the 2nd hit today for Rio Hondo, and at least 2 bases. He's going for 3, and he's in there. So a nice hit by Jordan Salgado. Ogata had a little problem trying to field the ball in right center. And Salgado is going to get credit for a double, and there's going to be an error also on Ogata, allowing Salgado to reach 3rd. So Salgado on 3rd with a chance to Rio Hondo to get on the board for the first time today, with Jimmy Portillo, the hitter, the first baseman for Rio Hondo, at the plate. Nice gap hit by Salgado. pitch, changeup, just inside. Ball, and we got a count of 1-1 on Salgado. I mean on Portillo, I should say. He's 0 for 2 today. Portillo grounded to the first baseman in the first and flew out to center in the fourth.
Cole, they have them. They're calling them pitches. So mix up your movement. Not too much, Andrew.
Nice breaking ball, called for strike 3 called. So beautiful pitch by Torres to get Portillo for the first out. So runner still on third base. That's going to bring up designated hitter Chris Rivera. Torres' second strikeout. Rivera today is 0 for 2. He grounded out to short in the second and popped up to second in the fourth. Next pitch there for a fastball for a strike. Torres trying to keep the shutout going for the Lancers pitching staff. And he hits him. So off-speed pitch hits Rivera, and that's going to put runners on first and third as Coach McGee comes out to pick up the ball, and at the same time he wants to talk to Torres and the rest of the infield. First time all day that Rio Hondo has threatened to score against the Lancers pitchers. Rio Hondo with just 2 hits today. The single by Banda in the third, and then the double by Salgado, who reached base to third on an error credited to right fielder Shane Ogata. Diego Perez now coming up for the Roadrunners. He's the Rio Hondo shortstop. Perez today 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking in the second, and he grounded to the pitcher in the fifth. Runner is on first and third, 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Lancers leading Rio Hondo 5-0. Fastball in for a strike. High with this next pitch. One and one count on Perez. Fastball low, 2-1. Torres in the stretch. Fires a high fastball, another ball. 3-1, and okay, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're back here. And it's the bottom of the 7th now as the Lancers starting relief pitcher Benny Torres got out of a first and third jam, getting the final hitter to fly out to left and keeping Rio Hondo off the scoreboard. PCC up 5-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. New pitcher for Rio Hondo, and it's a lefty, and it's number 34. For the Roadrunners, Robert Valdez. He's a 5'7", 210-pounder, and he's out of Los Altos. 4th pitcher today for the Roadrunners. Benny Torres, Lancer reliever, 4 innings of shutout relief. He's only allowed 1 hit, and that's after a nice starting job by Austin Ruiz, who was kind of pitching by committee today for the Lancers, as the Ruiz with a rare chance to pitch. He's been a designated hitter for PCC most of the season, a transfer out of Azusa Pacific. And Ruiz did a nice job in the start with 3 innings of 1 hit shutout ball. So the first pitch delivered by Valdez, his first strike on the Lancer hitter Vic Zapata, the PCC first baseman. Zapata today, as he hits a high fly ball to the center fielder, and it drops in on a trap, and he tried to sell it, but it's a base hit for Zapata. Single to center. And today, Zapata's first hit, he's 1 for 3. He walked in the first. It's the Lancers' 11th hit. And that brings up Shane Ogata. And the PCC right fielder is 1 for 2 today with a walk. Nice bunt to the third baseman, and he guns him out at first. A nice play by Alex Banda at third base. On the sacrifice, Ghana moves Zapata to second base. So as we said, Coach Pat McGee will use small ball any chance he can, although his team is second in the state in hitting with a .327 average. So Zapata on second, 1 out, and that brings up Jake Sanchez, the Lancer shortstop. Sanchez 1 for 3 today. He singled in the 5th. Takes pitch low. Jake Sanchez doing everything he can to try to keep the shortstop job that Ryan Lewis was the starter for almost the whole season until about 4 or 5 games ago. He rolled his ankle, and then Sanchez has come in and done a nice job. But we probably expect Lewis to get back in there anytime. As Lewis is playing today, he backed up as a DH. He's had 2 at-bats. He's 0 for 2 today. But Lewis was a terrific fielding second baseman last year for the Lancers, moved to shortstop this year, and has done a yeoman job at the shortstop position until he got hurt. Curveball, and Sanchez drives it to left field, and it's caught. That's going to keep Zapata from advancing. So Sanchez with the flyout to Jordan Salgado, the Rio Hondo left fielder. So now 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Andrew Scannell, the Lancer second baseman. Scannell 1 for 2 today with a walk. To lefty, Robert Valdez on the mound, and a ground ball to the second baseman. That's going to end this inning. Throws him out, and the Lancers strand a runner, and that ends the 7th inning. 7 full done here at Brookside Park's Jackie Robinson Memorial Field, and the Lancers leading Rio Hondo 5-0. Olgan. And Benny Olguin is a 6'1", 165-pounder out of Alhambra High School, the righty, wearing number 11. And the Lancers' white jerseys here at their home diamond and off-campus field. One of the few California community colleges that play off-campus, a couple of miles from Pasadena City College. Brookside Park is just walking distance from the Rose Bowl. So leading off the top of the 8th inning for Rio Hondo is their center fielder, Christian Tinnen. Tinnen today is 0 for 2. He popped up to the third baseman and flew out to center in the 5th. And the slim righty fires a fastball. Opens up with a strike to Tinnen. He's trying to follow 2 strong performances, 3 shutout innings by Austin Ruiz and 4 shutout frames by Benny Torres. Popped up foul. Pilar gets under it, and it's going to go out of play. You can follow Pasadena City College athletics and the 16 intercollegiate athletic teams on the PCC's athletics official website at pcclancers.com, and follow them on Twitter at PCC Athletics. Holguin 1-2 count on Tinnen. Looks in for the sign from Pilar. Fastball. That's a bounder to second base. It's going to be fielded by Scannell, and he throws him out. So a good start for Holguin. Here comes Alex Banda, the 9th hitter in the Rio Hondo lineup. One of only 2 hits today was hit by Banda. He singled in the 3rd, and that is his only hit this season. He's just 1 for 16. Seldom played as the Roadrunners infielder. Pitch outside by Holguin. 2-0 count on Banda. The Lancers are 9-2 at their home diamond this year. Coach McGee prides himself on his team playing well here at their off-campus field, Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. Fastball swung on and missed by Banda. Two count. And he pops him up. So this is going to be fielded by the Lancer shortstop, Jake Sanchez. Takes control and catches the pop-up for the second out. And that was on Banda. 2 outs here in the 8th. And as many people may or may not know, coaches do not want their pitchers to field any pop-ups. So usually you want your shortstop or second baseman to call it off, and that's exactly what Sanchez did on that pop-up. The hitter is Ricky Akels. He's the leadoff hitter for Rio Hondo. He's 0 for 3 today, but he's their leading hitter. And a .353 batting average, one of the few Roadrunners having a terrific season. Akels struck out looking in the 1st. He flew out to center in the 3rd, and he popped up to second in the 6th. Pitch there by Holguin is getting there for a strike. So again, the Lancers pitchers are burying pitches into that strike zone, getting ahead on the count, and controlling this game as they swung on and missed. And that was, I don't know exactly what that pitch was. It was a little up in the zone, and Ackles went after it. Strike 3 swinging. A 1-2-3 inning for Benny Olguin. That's going to bring it to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Lancers still leading 5-0. All the offense in the first 2 innings. 2 runs in that first and 3 in the second. So the Rio Hondo makes another pitching change as they're trying to get a bunch of relievers work, and their new pitcher is number 17, Josh Yorba. He's another lefty. Today he is the 5th Roadrunners pitcher. They started with Abraham Carrillo, who gave up all 5 runs in the first 3 innings. And then nice job by the Rio Hondo bullpen. Isaiah Vasquez threw 2 shutout innings, allowed 2 hits. James Wright, a sidewinder, he threw a scoreless inning. And then Robert Valdez, the lefty, threw another scoreless inning. So the Rio Hondo bullpen with 4 shutout innings. And now they turn the ball over to Josh Yorba. The Lancers have made quite a turnaround in these last couple of seasons. Coach Pat McGee took over in 2015. He took over a team that was a perennial doormat of the South Coast Conference. Several 7th and 8th place finishes in the conference. And it is quite an achievement to take a team, take a program that plays off campus and turn it into a winner, and that's what he's done. In the last 2 years, PCC, they went 26-17 overall and won the South Coast Conference North Division title, their first title in 45 years, and the first in the South Coast Conference. They joined it in 1988, so a heck of a long time without a title until 2017. Last year, he leads the team to the playoffs again, 23-20 record, finishing in 2nd place in the SEC North. So consecutive SoCal regional playoff appearances for the Lancers, and they're on their way to a possible 3rd this year. They are in 2nd place right now in this SEC North, just 1 game behind leader Mount San Antonio. PCC ranked number 16 in the Sports Information State Top 20 rankings this week. Gabriel Ariano, the Lancers center fielder, leading off here in the 8th, hits a ground ball to the second baseman and throws him out. So Ariano retired, and he had a 2-for-5 afternoon if the Lancers can hang on here. And that brings up Cole Pilar. And Pilar today, 1-for-4 overall, which means he's in a slump, but that's actually not true, because the fact of the matter is he's on a 21-for-42 tear in the last 10 games alone. Pilar just on fire, one of the top hitters in the state, top 10, and he rips a line drive to left field right on cue. Base hit for Pilar. Pilar, a switch hitter, and this time he went righty against the left-handed pitching Yorba and lines a single to left. That's the Lancers' 12th hit of the game, and for Pilar, his 2nd hit of the afternoon. So you can see there on the replay another solid line drive by Pilar. And that brings up Marco Martinez, another hot hitter. Martinez is 1-for-3 today with a double. It's really a powerful 1-2 punch with Pilar and Martinez. Martinez with 5 home runs this year to lead the team, and he has 25 RBI. And the man on deck is 3-for-4, Edward Monzo. Ball in the dirt. In a way, the way Rio Hondo season's gone, this is almost a mild victory for them to shut out the PCC offense over the last 6 innings. Martinez with the 2-0 count. Next pitch, ground ball is foul. Past the third base bag. Yorba looks in for the sign. Curveball taken for a strike. So nice pitch there by Yorba. It's 2-2 now on Martinez. Another breaking ball. This one stays up. Full count now on Martinez. There's the money pitch, and a nice pitch by Yorba as he strikes out Martinez swinging. So breaking ball gets Martinez. 2 outs here in the 8th, and that's going to bring up Edward Monzo. And the Lancer left fielder having a nice day at the plate. He's 3 for 4, including a double in the 6th. Not the prototypical 4th hitter, but he gets the job done despite his size. Takes a fastball in there for a strike. Lefty delivers, breaking ball inside. The Lancers, the top team in the region in hitting at a 327 average coming into the game, and that average should stay either there or a little higher after today's game. High pitch to Monzo there. 2-1 on the Lancers left fielder. All South Coast Conference first team selection last year. Went to Pete Knight High in Palmdale. Here's the next pitch, and a line drive hit the center field, left center by Monzo. That's his 4th hit of the game, and that is just what Coach McGee wants to see out of his left fielder, who kind of went off to a slow start this year and has come on strong. He's raised his average to over 350 with this game. 4 hits on the afternoon for Monzo. And 13 hits on the day for the Lancers, and that brings up Ryan Lewis, the Lancers DH. He is normally their starting shortstop. And as we said earlier, coming off a ankle sprain that kept him out of several games, and now he's back in the Lancer lineup today. Came in to sub for Johnny Cedeno at DH. He's 0 for 2 in his 2 plate appearances. Right-handed hitter. And he rips a shot to left field, right at the left fielder, and caught. So a line drive by Lewis is caught for the 3rd out of the inning. Another shutout frame for the Rio Hondo relief staff. And the score, after 8 full innings here, it is Pasadena 5, Rio Hondo 0. There's the shot there by the Lancer hitter, and that retired the Lancers there in the 8th inning. As Olguin will finish it up for PCC. His 2nd inning on the hill in relief of Austin Ruiz and then Benny Torres. So we have the dueling Bennies here for the Lancers. Torres threw 4 terrific innings, 4 innings of 1-hit relief, and Ruiz with 3 innings of 1-hit ball, as the Lancers trying here possibly to have a combined shutout with the 3 pitchers. Olguin with a scoreless 8th inning. Rio Hondo again with only 2 hits today. PCC had 13 hits on the day. All the damage done in the first 2 innings when PCC scored 2 runs in the first and 3 in the second. In that first inning, Marco Martinez delivered an RBI double, and then there was a bases loaded walk that brought in the second run. And then the second inning, the big play was a 2 runs scored on an error on a ball hit by Cole Pilar to the shortstop. And that's your offense today. So Jesus Maldonado, the Rio Hondo catcher, leads off the top of the 9th. High pitch for ball 1 by Olguin. PCC looking for their 7th consecutive victory just against Rio Hondo teams. Swung on a miss. They're looking for their 5th straight win overall. Pitch is in there for a strike. So Olguin, a quick worker. Now ahead of Maldonado, 1-2 on the count. Curveball, and it's driven to right field, in there for a hit by Maldonado. So nice piece of hitting by Jesus Maldonado. His first hit of the day, and the 3rd hit for the Roadrunners. That's going to bring up Jordan Salgado, the Rio Hondo left fielder. Salgado today is 1 for 2, and he hit a double in the 7th inning. Left-handed hitter. Pitches inside for ball 1. Fly ball to center field. Gabriel Ariano under it. It makes the catch for out number 1. So 2 outs away from PCC moving 10 games over the 500 mark. They're 16-7 overall right now. As Jimmy Portillo, Rio Hondo first baseman, comes up to the plate. Portillo today is 0 for 3. Grounded out in the first, flew out the center in the 4th, and struck out looking in the 7th. First pitch by Olguin is high for ball. Next pitch is outside. So 2-0 count for Olguin. Lancers swept Chaffey College in a 3-game series last week, and they are trying to win this series here. They've already won on Tuesday 16-2 against Rio Hondo, and trying to finish it off here for their 5th straight conference win. Olguin fastball is high, and it's taken for a walk, so all of a sudden Rio Hondo with some base runners threatening here in the 9th. Maldonado now at second, Portillo on first with the walk, and that brings up designated hitter Chris Rivera. And if you want to know that Rio Hondo is not deep, and they're not deep, is because Chris Rivera is not being pinch hit for, even though he had a 185 batting average coming into today's game. Taken for a ball. Rivera today is 0 for 2. He got hit by a pitch in the 7th. Grounded out to short in the 2nd and popped up to the second baseman in the 4th. So a thin Rio Hondo bench, and so that's no pinch hitters, although we might see one in a little bit. Olguin, 1 out, 2 runners on here in the 9th. pitches high.
You gotta try easier, not harder. Try easier.
Holguin with a 2-0 count now on Rivera.
We don't need 7 looks.
Looking at the on-deck circle, there will be a pinch hitter for the next hitter. It'll be Mark Salcido. Next pitch, and popped up foul, and out of play.
Good, stay with that. Boy, Andrew. Come on, Benny, on you.
Holguin looks in with the 2-1 count. Fastball's in there for a strike. 2-2 now on the Rio Hondo designated hitter.
Be a wall, Cole.
Holguin's 2-2 pitch. Grounded to the third baseman Martinez. He steps on the bag, throws it to first. Double play. And that's the ball game. So it ends on a 5-3 double play. The final score, the Lancers defeating Rio Hondo 5-0. It is the first shutout this season by the Lancers pitching staff, a combined effort, a combined 3-hit shutout by Austin Ruiz, Benny Torres, who will get